Beanstalk Global. I am with the famous, Jack, I'm going to go for famous Jack Farmer from Let Us Grow. Jack, say hello to everyone.
Hi guys, how's it going?
So Jack, it's great to have you on. Just give us a bit of an elevator pitch as to who you are and Let Us Grow for our UK audience that doesn't know about you, and also our international audience. Who are you, please?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the co-founders of Let Us Grow. We're an irrigation company that primarily focuses on this method called aeroponics, where you atomize the water in your hydroponic system into an aerosol. That gives your roots more oxygen, means greater root health and greater productivity. Also can get rid of some of the kind of fusarium side of fungus that really cause an issue with quite a few crops. That's packaged all up into a rolling bench, so very easy to integrate into an ebb and flood based rolling bench system as well. So that's what we do. That's why we're here. Kind of looking to work with the majority of the big installers of greenhouses and indoor farms to license our system into their designs. So that's my background.
Excellent, well done. And customer base, are you parochial? Are you just working around Bristol, the lovely city that you're based, or are you UK, international? How's it work?
If only I could just work around Bristol, that'd be great. But no, we're very much international. The benefit of working through this kind of license-based model is that we can work with manufacturing partners and commercial partners in different regions. So you're going to get, we're very much open to working around the world. We've got target areas. We're certainly more active in North America, Europe, and the Middle East. But we've got other partners in the rest of the world that we're really excited to start working with very soon. So yeah, it's really driven by the appetite for that region in kind of high-tech glass and high-tech vertical farms. That's kind of where we normally sit in terms of our current aeroponic systems. So that's the main driver.
Okay, and presumably that's very beneficial that you can sort of ride the wave, the excitement of everything that's going on within vertical farming in UK and internationally. But likewise, the size of the glass houses in America alone are significant. So you can assist both sectors.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we're fundamentally an irrigation company and quite proud to be an irrigation company, right? So we certainly started off working within that vertical farming market because it was very ripe for innovation. There was lots of money going into it. But we took a decision 3 or 4 years ago that, look, now's the time. We always knew that we were cross-compatible across the two, but now's the time to really go hell for leather for the glasshouse market. And so that's what we've done. And actually, the majority of our partners are in that higher tech mobile bench glasshouse-based system because that's where the market is.
Yep. Okay, and presumably that's one of the reasons why you're in FRUIT LOGISTICA in Berlin, that you're looking for more customers, whether they be in Germany, Europe, or internationally.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the place to. It's such a good activation spot for conversation. So we'll have these long-running conversations on license agreements and things like that. That might well be running for about 6 months. What better way to then actually engage those parties by meeting in a mutual and common space like this? It's a very conducive to agree in kind of next steps and things like that.
Well done. And Jack, it might be a bit of a jingoistic question, but I do like it. Success for you, your colleagues in your business, and also for your customers. What does success look like for you and your customers 3 years, 5 years, 10 years out?
Yeah, so I mean, I think for us and our customers, we kind of got the nice thing about this model is it really does kind of bring multiple stakeholders into the conversation. So for us, obviously, we'll be looking to strike agreements with these kind of key suppliers that help us monetize our products. That's quite obvious. But our success is very much driven by the supplier's success in supplying that bench to growers. Growers, at the end of the day, are going to drive the success of all of this. So when we then try to circle back in is you'll get people like me as a plant scientist who are then working directly with everyone using aeroponics to make sure we're translating that knowledge we have in the hydroponic sector into this slightly fiddly but high-performing new tool. So our success is fundamentally driven by working with those growers, driving better results, enabling them to grow new crops that they may not be able to in existing hydroponic systems. And that then trickles back down that scale to say, okay, then the supplier wins because they can supply more products. And then Let's Grow eventually kind of that comes back to us as well, if the agreement's structured correctly. So it's really kind of driven by grower performance and grower satisfaction. But that's why we circle back at that end bit to provide that support and to make sure that everyone's, I guess, getting the best experience possible.
Yeah, and Jack, where I'm really excited with the likes of yourself and your business, I'm going to give you a direct example. Yesterday, and I won't nominate him, we went to see a very big glasshouse grower, and myself and my colleague, we were sort of being a little bit critical about some of the vertical farming businesses and the people that they bring in, because they don't have any defined fresh produce growing experience. And he actually said, no, Max, you're wrong. Because if you've got my experience of being a grower for 30 years and their experience in their technology, new way of thinking, if you bring those two skill sets together, oh my God, what a powerhouse. And we hadn't thought of it like that before. And in effect, that's what Jack, that's in effect what you created with Let Us Grow.
Well, that's certainly been the intent. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to be humble as anyone starting a business. Well, not that many people are humble starting a business, but you've got to try and be humble. And recognise that the vast majority of the innovations vertical farming we're talking about have been done repeatedly over the last 40 years. But and that's where a lot of the businesses fell down. But there are fundamentally some things that vertical farms do really well that are translatable to glasshouse, and I think you're already seeing in the Dutch sector, because in the Dutch sector, all the greenhouse builders built the vertical farms, so that you can see loads of translatable learnings now coming across. And that's only going to drive a better control, higher performance out your glasshouse sector. So I think you're absolutely right to flag from the grower's perspective that there's a lot to learn if we can collaborate together. So hopefully you see some of these startups that started with that vertical farming boom start to find a home in the wider sector. That'll be a real success in my opinion.
Yeah, well done. And FRUIT LOGISTICA is great. I forget the numbers, 2,800 stands, 75,000 people. And we have other events like Fruit Attraction and the IFPA shows in the States. Are they too insular? I'd be interested to get your view on that. Are we just promoting ourselves to ourselves when actually we need to get the consumer on board? Because I think the consumer, you can imagine sort of potential engineering students, rather than going off and designing ball bearings, actually being involved with your business. What's your take on how we can get the consumer interested in fresh produce with what you've learned, yourself and with your business?
Well, I was laughing because it doesn't feel insular. There's a lot of people here, I think there's certainly an argument. Look, I think agriculture and primary production, which is what FRUIT LOGISTICA in many ways represents, does tend to be reasonably isolated from the consumer, just because of that rural city divide, right? So in that sense, I'd say it's pretty successful in kind of getting producers out of the field and into the city, and you do get more engagement than you would normally get as a grower. That said, I think obviously the way retail works and the way a lot of these buying relationships work is that you don't really want your producer to be talking directly to the end consumer all the time. So I'm maybe a little bit cynical, but I don't think it's the FRUIT LOGISTICA's fault or really the producer's fault too much. That they're not naturally talking to the consumer too much, because they just tend to be in very different parts of the world, different parts of the economy. They would need a lot of help, I think, to get most producers talking to the end consumer.
Yeah, well done. I'm just a bit of a driver. I hate highly processed food, because I think it's the root to all evil in respect to the diabetic crisis that we've got going on. Whilst fresh produce is the answer. So just to get your steer in it
I agree.
Is very, very useful. So Jack, come on, let's not hold you up, but just give us a shout out again, because I'd love to lean on our network to your advantage. What sort of connections are you looking for in FRUIT LOGISTICA or through this type of interview? Who do you want to engage with you in the future that you can add value to, please?
So I mean, primarily for us, hopefully I've explained what we do reasonably well at the start, but we're looking to build connections with those supplying the glasshouse industry. So on the manufacturing side, so anyone who builds glass houses, we'd love to talk to you, and hopefully enhance your current offering, make it more flexible, and it gives growers different tools to use for different crops. And I think on the growers side, what's really interesting is that obviously everyone offers yields. We believe that root zone health drives yields, and therefore we've got a story to tell there. But it's more around this idea of different tools for different crops and enhancing the capability of your bench-based systems. If you can integrate an aeroponic bench next to a hydroponic bench like we can, suddenly you might be able to grow a lot more crops in a lot more effective way out of the same asset, because not many people are building new greenhouses right now. So On the grower side, we'd love to work with anyone who's willing to have those trials, for example, in spinach or watercress. And on the manufacturer side, I think I've explained, like, it's a very open door from our perspective to work with anyone who's got that market share and that experience in building, manufacturing or selling glass houses. So yeah, that's our core pitch, really.
Jack, well done. Okay, we won't hold you up any longer. We're just running a bit of a competition with all the people that are kindly dialed into us. How many steps did you walk yesterday? You've got to beat 30,000.
I don't record them, but it feels like it. Honestly, this place is massive. It does. I was going to say, I feel like I went for a run on Sunday and I feel more tired today.
Jack, thank you. We'll tag you and your website on all of these posts. We wish you all the best for the future. Enjoy the rest of the show.